The state of Florida has been hit by back-to-back storms, but it appears a third storm is brewing and is making its way to the city of Okeechobee. However, this storm is not a natural disaster like the last two. This storm is a man-made one and is on its way to punish city officials who decided they would unlawfully tread on your right to bear arms. My advice to those city officials is simple: get ready for impact. Hello everyone, and welcome to the Firearm Firm channel. I'm attorney James Phillips, a former prosecutor and founding partner of Katz & Phillips, PA. To our fellow Floridians who were impacted by Hurricane Milton, please know that we are thinking about you and wishing you a speedy recovery from the storm. Unfortunately, for some Okeechobee city officials, another storm is on its way. But unlike the last storms, this one is your own fault. This past September the 26th, the City of Okeechobee released a public notice regarding City Ordinance number 1297 that went into effect ahead of Hurricane Helene making landfall. This city ordinance, which was adopted by the City Council and signed by Okeechobee Police Chief Donald Hagan, prohibited the sale of or offer to sell any ammunition or firearms, the intentional display by or in any store or shop for any ammunition or firearms, and the intentional possession in a public place of a firearm by any person who is not a law enforcement official or military personnel acting in their official performance of their duty. Apparently, the City Council Police Chief either forgot or just didn't care about Florida's preemption law, which has been around since 1987, and it specifically forbids this kind of behavior. Florida's preemption law is found in Florida Statute 790.33 and in part reads, except as expressly provided by the state constitution or general law, the legislature hereby declares that it is occupying the whole field of regulation of firearms and ammunition, including the purchase, sale, transfer, taxation, manufacture, ownership, possession, storage, and transportation thereof, to the exclusion of all existing and future county, city, town, or municipal ordinances or any administrative regulations or rules adopted by local or state government relating thereto. Any such existing ordinances, rules, or regulations are hereby declared null and void. Upon finding out about this illegal ordinance, my friend Eric Friday, who is the general counsel for Florida Carry, sent Chief Hagan a letter on behalf of Florida Carry, letting him know of his huge mistake and offering to let him and the city officials settle this violation of the law without the need of litigation. Real nice guy. To view Attorney Friday's letter, click on the link down in the description section of this video. So on September the 30th of 2024, the City of Okeechobee published a press release explaining the circumstances and acknowledged the inadvertent mistake in using an outdated emergency ordinance form. Well, considering the preemption law has been in effect since 1987, that must have been an extremely old emergency ordinance form they were using. According to the press release, the chief discovered the problem the same day and terminated the ordinance at 9:51 on September the 26th, 2024. The city did respond to Attorney Friday's letter, which can also be viewed by clicking on the link in the description section to this video. In that letter, they wrote, first and foremost, generally stated, there is no fundamental disagreement over the legal concept outlined in your Florida Carry Inc. letter dated September the 28th of 2024. The letter goes on to make excuses of why it happened and indicate that no one was hurt by the inadvertent violation of the preemption law. In closing, the attorney for the city wrote, as to your demand for payment of $30,000 in damages and attorney's fees to resolve this matter prior to the initiation of litigation, the city respectfully declines. We see no legal, factual, or public policy basis for your organization demanding payment of taxpayer dollars to satisfy your assertion of damages and attorney's fees. The city is a rural, small town that fundamentally believes in gun rights and the Second Amendment. From any standpoint, for Florida Carry Inc. to take legal action against the city under the circumstances described herein is patently inappropriate and unjustified. As I would expect from Eric Friday, He responded to the city's attorney's response, and I think his response was perfect. In his email response, Attorney Friday wrote, "Inadvertence and ignorance of the law by government is no more of an excuse for violating civil rights than when a citizen inadvertently violates the law and is arrested and prosecuted. I will begin drafting my complaint seeking relief, including personal fines against the city officials under whose jurisdiction this knowing and willful enactment occurred." And my favorite part of the response, "You may want to inform the relevant officials that they are not allowed to use tax dollars to defend themselves from such liability, and that any fine assessed will be personally payable by them to alleviate your concerns about tax dollars." Great language. Now, most people in Florida's 2A community know about Florida's preemption law, but most aren't aware of how serious the consequences of violating the preemption law is. Subsection 3 of Florida Statute 790.33 allows a court who determines that a violation was knowing and willful, the court shall assess a civil fine of up to $5,000 against the elected or appointed local government official or officials or administrative agency head under whose jurisdiction the violation occurred. Furthermore, the statute prohibits public funds from being used to defend or reimburse the unlawful conduct of any person found to have knowingly and willfully violated this section. Finally, subsection B of section 3 of the statute specifically reads, "It is no defense that in enacting an ordinance, regulation, or rule, the local government was acting in good faith or upon advice of counsel." All I can say is Okeechobee city officials better get ready for this storm, and they better start saving their personal money. Be sure to let us know what you think about this whole ordeal down in the comments section below, where you can also leave any questions you may have about this video or any other Second Amendment related issue. Until next time, stay armed and educated.